الله الرحمن الرحيم وما هذه الحياة الدنيا إلا لهو ولعب وإن الدار الآخرة لهي الحيوان لو كانوا يعلمون فإذا ركبوا في الفلك دعوا الله مخلصين له الدين فلما نجاهم إلى البر إذا هم يشركون ليكفروا بما آتيناهم وليتمتعوا فسوف يعلمون أولم يروا أنا جعلنا حرما آمنا ويتخطف الناس من حولهم أفبالباطل يؤمنون وبنعمة الله يكفرون ومن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا أو كذب بالحق لما جاءه أليس في جهنم مثوى للكافرين والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا وإن الله لمع المحسنين صدق الله العظيم.
माशाअल्लाह. हेलो कारी नईम साहब, ये गाड़ी ब्लॉक कर रही है ऑडी MJ66WUL. इसको हटा के आ जाओ. मूव योर कार एंड देन कम बैक. डोंट रन ऑफ. अरे साहब, तुम्हारी गाड़ी तो नहीं है? सर की टोयोटा सिंपल गाड़ी है. Come inside, but don't sit on the doorstep. Move. आगे आ जाओ. दरवाजे पर मत बैठो. दरवाजे पर बैठोगे तो शैतान बाहर भगा देगा.
अस्सलामु अलैकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुह. दूसरी पढ़ लीजिए.
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद.
हबीब खुदा कमली वाले मोहम्मद, हबीब खुदा कमली वाले मोहम्मद, ज़माने में सबसे निराले मोहम्मद. हबीब खुदा कमली वाले मोहम्मद, ज़माने में सबसे निराले मोहम्मद, ज़माने में सबसे निराले मोहम्मद. है शम्सु दुहा रूए अनवर का सदका, है शम्सु दुहा रूए अनवर का सदका, है वल्लैल सदका बाले मोहम्मद, है वल्लैल सदका बाले मोहम्मद. जुलेखा न यूसुफ पे कुर्बान होती, जुलेखा न यूसुफ पे कुर्बान होती, अगर देख लेती जमाले मोहम्मद, अगर देख लेती जमाले मोहम्मद. हबीबे खुदा कमली वाले मोहम्मद, ज़माने में सबसे निराले मोहम्मद. अज़ल से अबद तक ज़मीं से फलक तक, अज़ल से अबद तक जमी से फलक तक नहीं पा सकोगे मिसाले मोहम्मद नहीं पा सकोगे मिसाले मोहम्मद खुदा की मशीयत की है जलवरेजी खुदा की मशीयत की है जलवरेजी ज़ुबान मोहम्मद ख़याल मोहम्मद ज़ुबान मोहम्मद ख़याल मोहम्मद हबीब खुदा कमली वाले मोहम्मद ज़माने में सबसे निराले मोहम्मद
Jazakallah Qari Naeem. This nasheed which he was reading, you know who composed it? Qari Ehsan Mohsin साहब कल जो आए थे ना, उनकी है ये नशीद. He composed it. उनकी है फाइल, वो उनको भेजी PDF. उसमें से कारी साहब ने माशाल्लाह तैयारी कर ली. हाँ, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, माशाअल्लाह, बारकल्लाह. आज कौन सी रात है? 24. 4 रातें तो समझो गई, 5 या 6 रह गई हैं. Nearly 4 nights gone now. Only 5 left. Time is going so fast. We just came in yesterday, and time is going so fast. Chalo, alhamdulillah, may Allah accept whatever tutti-putti ibadat we have. May Allah give us tawfiq to do more. May Allah forgive our shortcomings. And may Allah accept from us. Yesterday we were talking about hifazat of chastity and modesty, haya and sharam, ismat and iffat. Today we read Surah al-Kahf, and Surah al-Kahf is about hifazat of iman, hifazat of faith, hifazat, protection of our iman and yaqeen, being steadfast and strong on our deen. Before we go into Surah al-Kahf, I just want to mention one verse from Surah al-Ra'd which we read. Today we read remainder of Surah Yusuf, and then Surah al-Ra'd, and then Surah Ibrahim, and then Surah al-Hijr, and then Surah al-Nahl, and then Surah Isra or Bani Israel, and Surah al-Kahf. In Surah Ibrahim, Allah mentions this scenario of the conversation between Iblis, Mal'oon, Shaitan, and his followers. Now you have to first of all remember that there is a force out there who's called Shaitan. Though there can be some Shaitans among insan, hey, bada Shaitan hai ye. Meaning he does too much masti. That's why he's like Shaitan. That's why we call him Shaitan. One Buzurg saw Shaitan in his dream. And he said to him, in fact, he didn't see him in dream, he saw him in real life. Because sometimes you can see Shaitan. So Buzurg's heart, eyes were open, he saw Shaitan. And he was walking naked, without clothes. So Buzurg said to him, Shaitan, tu bada Shaitan hai yaar. Shaitan, you are big Shaitan here. What are you doing, man? You're walking among people. These are not people. They are ullu ke patte. They don't know anything. I mess around with them. I play with them on my finger. मैं उनको नचाता हूँ अपनी उंगली पे. Buzurg said, you make people fight? I don't do anything, Hazrat. Everything happens. It's automatic, remote control, autopilot. I don't even have to do anything. I just have to watch. And everything happens smoothly for me. How? Then come, I'll show you. So he went to this mithai shop. Now in hot countries, mithai shop is not like our UK because it's so cold here, all doors, everything closed. You have to have heating, everything. Doors and everything is open. And there's all mark and machar and flies and everything, hovering over the mithai and the shira and jalebi and everything. So Buzruk can see shaitan, but other people can't see him. Only he can see him. He said, come, I'll show you. So he took some shira, shira, syrup from the jalebi tray, and he put it on the wall like this, and he said, Hazrat, you stand here and watch. Now what happens is, when he put the syrup on the wall, some flies came to drink from that syrup. And seeing the flies, a chipakali came, lizard, and it was running around the flies to eat them. Now seeing the lizard, a cat came and attempted to jump on the lizard and eat it. Now someone was passing by with a dog, and the dog saw the cat, so he went after the cat in the shop. And the cat is running around, dog is running after it, and there's chaos. There's people, somebody fell, somebody tripped, and then people started fighting with the dog owner. And you can't keep your dog under control. Look what it is. And the mithai shopkeeper, and there's chaos and fighting and punching and everything. So Shaitan is standing there like this, and he said to Hazrat, you see, Hazrat, I didn't do anything. I just put a little bit of syrup and everything happened automatically. This is how Shaitan works. He just makes a scheme, devises schemes, and then he traps people, and people start doing things automatically. And Shaitan has many shaitans who work for him. Shaitans which we can't see and shaitans which we can see. Right? Shaitan from the jinn, shaitan from the ins. Human beings, many human beings are shaitans. Right? They do things which we shouldn't be doing. And they cause a lot of chaos. So they cause a lot of chaos, fitna, fasad. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that on the day of Qiyamah, when Hisab Kitab is done, Shaitan's Hisab is done as well. He is sent into Jahannam. His followers will be there as well. And there will be a conversation between Shaitan and those who followed him. Allah says, وقال الشيطان لما قضي الأمر إن الله وعدكم وعد الحق ووعدتكم فأخلفتكم وما كان لي عليكم من سلطان إلا أن دعوتكم فاستجبتم لي فلا تلوموني ولوموا أنفسكم ما أنا بمصرخكم وما أنتم بمصرخي إني كفرت بما أشركتمون من قبل إن الظالمين لهم عذاب أليم. When the matter is decided, Shaitan will say, O people, Allah made you true promise and I gave you false promises, but you fell for my promises. You responded to me and you came running to me. Now don't blame me today, blame your own selves. I'm not going to save you and you're not going to save me. We're both going to go together in Jannah. I deny your shirk which you did with me. You did it for yourself, not for me. I didn't tell you. I just called you and you came running. That was your fault. Now go in the azab and punishment. They will say to him, you save us, Guru. We are your chelas. But the Guru and chela both will be thrown in Jannah. Allah said in the place, وَيَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يَكْفُرُ بَعْضُكُمْ بِبَعْضٍ وَيَلْعَنُ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا وَمَأْوَاكُمُ النَّارِ. Some of you will curse others. Shaitan will curse his followers will curse Shaitan. And Jahannam, there is fight, screaming, fighting, arguing, there's fighting, abusing, punching, slapping, cursing. This is how Jahannam will be. This is why our Ustad Maulana Hashim Sahib sometimes, Hafizahullah sometimes used to say very nice thing. He said, look, in Akhirat there is Jannat and Jahannam. In Jahannam there's fighting, screaming, cursing, lantan, swearing, abuse. And in Jannat there is peace, sukoon, tamanina, no swearing, no abuse, no galam galoji, no cursing, peace, nice, maza, maza, sukoon, itminan. So he said, you can make this dunya your Jannat or your Jahannam. If you live with one another peacefully, then this dunya is your Jannat. And if you keep fighting and arguing and punching and swearing and abusing and cursing, then this dunya is your Jahannam as well. So don't make your dunya Jahannam, make your dunya Jannat. So this is one case of Iblis and the conversation that will happen between Shaitan and his followers, which Allah narrated in Surah to Ibrahim. This is definitely going to happen. Now we move on. Surah al-Kahf. What did they say? Surah al-Kahf is talking about hifazat, protection of our iman, faith. Right? That is the story of Ashab al-Kahf. Right? Their faith and iman was put to test. Right? Shaitan put it to test. Shaitan used the emperor, the king of the time, whose name was Daqyanus. And he used to force people to worship idols. To do sajda to him. You have to do sajda to me. Worship idols. Many kings used to do that. Namrud used to make people do sajda to him. And this reminds me of something about Namrud. Namrud himself was very ugly. He wasn't good looking, very ugly. But he was so tyrant, that he was so bossy poots. He used to torture people and by force, enforce. I used to say, people sit there to me. Ibrahim was a young boy like our Hafiz Muhammad Saad. So his mom once went to the parliament. Ibrahim was some festival or something. Now Ibrahim is the young boy with his mom, and everybody is looking at Namrud. And Namrud were all his, attendants, khadims, standing around him, and they are wearing nice clothes and they are looking really good and handsome. And Namrud himself is really ugly. So Ibrahim asked his mom, who is that? And his mom said, he is Namrud. He calls himself God. He says he is God, he is Khuda. And who are those around him? Well, they are his attendants. So Ibrahim little boy said, how come his khadims are so nice, so good looking, and he's so ugly? If he is God, then why doesn't he make himself look good as well? And his mom said, chup, somebody's going to hear you, I'm going to get in trouble. Ibrahim's mother pulled him away from there, said, nobody hears him. So logic says, how can a human being be God? How can he be creator of other human beings when he himself is created? So this king also used to do silly stuff. He used to force people into idol worship. Now there was some young men. Young men, Quran said, is awal fityatu ila al-Kahf. Fata means youth, young man. Maybe 17, 18, 20, 22 is their age, roughly. But they are young and they are very strong. And they know that, we can't worship idols. Idol worship is wrong. Like Ibrahim a.s. said, you take hammer and chisel and you carve the idol from the stone and then you paint it and then you start worshipping it. How can you do that? Idol worship is not right. In the time of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam came to Medina Sharif, there was this man named Amr ibn al-Jamuh, and he had an idol. He used to worship it. Sayyiduna Muaz ibn Jabal radiyallahu anhu and some youngsters had embraced Islam. They didn't like idol worship. So they came to the old man and told him, hey, Budde, idol worship is wrong. Hey, you go away from here. He said, all right. So when he went to sleep at night, they stole his idol and took it to a tip. and covered it with all, shit, dirt, right? Napak, ganda. So in the morning, the old man woke up, his idol wasn't there, right? So he went to look out. Now he saw it in there. Oh, Hare Hare Ram Ram, kya ho gaya? And he pulled, he's an old man, he somehow barely managed to pull the idol out, drag it home, washed it, cleaned it, put it back in its place, and start worshipping it. Next day, the youngsters saw that ये बुड्ढा समझा नहीं है. So they took it in the next night as well. They dragged it and they tied it with a rope and hung it upside down in a well. Now the next day, the old man, he goes around and looks, where is my God? Where is my God? Where is my God? And he looks here and there frantically. He comes to the well, he sees the rope. Now he looks down, Hari Ram Ram Ram, what's going on here? And he hardly pulls it up, right? Drags it out, he takes it back home. And then worships it. And they see that he's not, able to understand. So the third night, they took it far away and they made a few pieces of it. Now he went looking, he went far away and he saw that it's pieces. Now he said, yeah, if you can't do your own hifazat, why am I going to do hifazat? I'm going. I'm not dragging you and joining your pieces back. And then he realized, this is not right. If my God can't protect himself, then why should I protect it? So next day, he came to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he declared Kalmah Shahadat, embraced Islam. This means sometimes you need a kick up the backside. The Buddha needed it. Hazrat Muaz ibn Jabal gave him that kick and he realized his mistake and he came and he gave up shirk. These youngsters, Ashab al-Kahf, they knew that idol worship is not right. Right? We shouldn't worship these idols. So the Qiyanus was forcing them, but they said, لَن نَدْعُوَ مِن دُونِهِ إِلَهًا لَقَدْ قُلْنَا إِذًا شَطَطًا. We will never worship any God besides Allah. People make them gods, but they're not gods. Allah is the one and only God. We will only worship Him. Now the king found out that these youngsters are not following my religion, they're going against my instructions. He was furious. He called them over and said, look, you better behave yourself. Otherwise, I'm going to punish you really badly. Now, since they were sons of his parliamentarians, meaning they were from the elite families, they were rich, from rich family. So the king didn't want to kill them instantly. If they were some poor people, he would have just finished them off. But he gave them chance. You go from here, think over your matter. After a few days, he receives news that they're still on that same deen and same religion. So he calls them again. And this time he threatens them. This is your last chance. If you don't give up, then you're going to the gallows. I'm going to kill you all. Now they realized that this is getting bad. They remained steadfast. Now they got together, they had a meeting, and they said, what shall we do? And they decided, we have to do hijrat, migrate from this town. We know we've got luxury here, nice house, mansion, money, our parents, families. We are relaxed, having a nice life. But with shirk and Buddha-parasti and idol worship, this is of no benefit. We'll just leave this place. They took a little bit of their money and by nightfall, they left and they fled. And they ran and ran and ran and whole night they kept running. And by next morning, they ended up on this mountain. They climbed the mountain high up And then they found a cave. They went inside and they made dua. Quran said, إِذْ أَوَى الْفِتْيَةُ إِلَى الْكَهْفِ فَقَالُوا رَبَّنَا آتِنَا مِن لَّدُنكَ رَحْمَةً وَهَيِّئْ لَنَا مِنْ أَمْرِنَا رَشَدًا. Parvardigar, give us special rahmat and mercy from you. We want some special rahmat. We need of your rahmat. Please have mercy upon us. And in this matter of ours, please prepare a right course of action for us. We've done what we could, but we need your help and we need to do the right thing. We don't want to do anything wrong. Please guide us. We need your guidance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't worry. I'll take care of you. How did Allah take care of them? فضربنا على آذانهم في الكهف سنين عددا ثم بعثناهم لنعلم أي الحزبين أحصى لما لبثوا أمدا. Allah put them to sleep because they were tired. Maybe they had been running all night, all day long, or maybe half a day, and then they thought that now we have escaped. So Allah put them to sleep. One thing happened on the other side. The king sent his soldiers, police, to go and get those youngsters. They went to their houses. The family members said they're not here. They're not in their bedroom. They went to check, search for them. They're not there. They ran off. Each one's house they went, and everyone, they had got together and ran off. So the king called in people to search for them. And they all went out in search, left, right, center, north, south, east. Where have they gone? But they just disappeared, nowhere to be seen. Now, the king was surprised. He said, if they had come and, they had taken my refuge, I would have been lenient with them. However, they've gone. He took one tablet, one blackboard slate, and he wrote their names on them. And he said, these youngsters, they disappeared into thin air. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't find them. Now, in those days, there's no helicopter that would come and take them away. Where did they go? Can't find them. So he wrote their names, and that's it. Number two, when they were going, what happened was a dog followed them. So they said, hey, go away from here. Hurry. But the dog wouldn't go. So they tried to drive it away. Allah gave the dog ability to speak. The dog spoke. And he said in their language that, please take me with you. I will look after you. I will be your guard dog. I can stay with you in Jannat as well. And they said, oh, Baba, the dog is speaking. So all right, go on, then come with us. Now, dogs, guard dogs, sheep dogs, hunting dogs, guide dogs for blind, these types of dogs which are of necessity are allowed. But dogs which are only for show, the small baby poodle, some girls carry in their bagal, right? That's haram to keep. If you keep a dog in your house for no reason, any valid Shari'i reason, then daily one qirat from your maqbool amal is eliminated, washed away, wiped out. One qirat is a big amount. Allah knows best how big. A large chunk of your a'mal is wiped out if you keep dog. Right? So don't keep dogs for fun. Only dogs which are for use and they are outside your house, maybe in a kennel, right? Then that might be allowed because it's for either hunting or guard or sheep dog or guide dog. That's allowed. But for no reason, it's not allowed, right? The reason number one, the saliva of the dog is napak. If he licks your clothes become napak. If he licks your body body becomes napak. Najis, you have to wash it. Secondly, dog barks. It barks at the postman, barks at the delivery man. It annoys them, runs after them. Sometimes किसी को bite मार देता है. So this is why, dogs should be avoided. And there are other reasons as well. One riwayat says a dog is like shaitan, iblis. He works for shaitan. Shaitan uses the dog. This is why you can't keep pet dogs for fun in your houses. This dog of Ashab al-Kahf said, I will guard you, I will be like a guard dog for you. So they let him come. They went. And the dog slept at the entrance of the cave, and they went inside and they slept separately. And there was one entrance, another side was an exit, but they slept in the middle. Now Allah put them to sleep in the right place, in the right position. So what happened was, in the morning when the sun rose, the heat would not strike them. And in the evening when the sun was setting, the heat would not come on them either. They are protected from the heat of the sun. But wind and air and oxygen would flow from one side to the other. And Allah kept on turning them in their cave, and they slept in that manner, tossing and turning around, without food, without drink, without their clothes becoming old and torn, without their nails or hair increasing in size. In exactly the same manner they slept, not for one day, not for 1 week, not for 1 month, not for 1 year, not for 100 years. They slept for 309 years. Now they were pious young men, right? So Allah mentioned their story. After 309 years, Allah woke them up. Why did Allah wake them up? Times had changed. Tables had turned. The city from which they fled had turned towards Deen, Tawheed. Shirk was gone. That Daqyanus king had died. Another king was there now, and the whole city believed in Allah. Idol worship was gone. They worshipped one and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, there was a dispute among the people with regards to life after death. Is life after death physical or spiritual? Some people said it's only spiritual. It's like a sweet dream or a nightmare. For the good people, it's a sweet dream. For bad people, it's a nightmare. Others said, no, life after death is physical. The grave will split open and you will come out with your body and you will be resurrected in the Maidan Hashar in front of Allah, and Allah will take full account of your life. Now, both parties were Muslims, but there was this dispute among them. The king was confused. King made dua to Allah. Oh Allah, can you please clarify this matter for us? People are disputing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Show us a sign that you can bring the dead back to life and life after death, the reality of it. Explain it to us. Allah accepted the good king's du'as and he woke Ashab al-Kahf. They woke up and they said, yeah, what time is it? They have a watch. They didn't have any watches. They said, well, how long have you been sleeping? So one of them said, maybe a full day. We slept a whole day because they were so tired. The other said, nah, when we came, the sun was still up and now it's setting. So it's maybe half a day. So a third person said, leave this discussion, yaar. We're feeling hungry. Get some food. So one of them volunteered, I'll go and get it. So they said, take this money and make sure you camouflage yourself. Don't let yourself be known, otherwise they're going to kill you if they know. So he covered himself, put some black thing on his face, and then he came down the hill and he walked and walked and walked and walked and he went into the city. And he was looking and said, "Oh, the city has changed, yeah. What's this?" But he couldn't understand. Well, he just went to a baker's shop and he bought some bread. And he gave him the money. When he paid for it, the person took the money and said, "What's this, man? This is some Daqiyanusi sikka. Daqiyanusi coin. Where do you get this from?" So, "What do you mean Daqiyanusi coin? It is the currency which people use." "No, this currency is very old, ancient. You found some treasure from somewhere, you stolen it, and you brought this to me to pay with this. Are you fooling me?" I said, "No, I didn't find any treasure." He said, "Grab hold of it. Pakdo isko. Police ko bulao." I said, "Wait a minute, bhai, what's going on? What's happening? I see that there is something different changes here in the city." I said, "Yeah. Is Daqiyanus not the king?" "No, Daqiyanus died centuries ago." Said, "Then what's this?" Said, "This is the time of so and so." Took another king's name. And they said, "Take him to the king." They took him to the king. So the king said, okay, let him loose. Let me talk to him. Said, "What's your matter?" Said, "I don't know what's going on. I'm really confused. The Daqiyanus was here and he forced us to do shirk and we ran off from here." And then the king said, "Oh, yes, wait a minute. Yesterday, I was going through some of the old treasures and ancient things, and I saw one tablet in which this incident was written." He brought that out, produced it, and he said, "Is your name these Kashfutat, Kashaft, Yunus, Mukaslimina, Yamliha, Tamliha?" I said, "Yeah, these are our names." So, "Well, it's written here that you people disappeared." I said, "Yeah. So what year is this now?" "Well, this is this year, 300 years down the line." "So you've been sleeping for 300 years?" That's what's happened. And now the king said, I understand what's happening now. I made dua yesterday for Allah to clarify the matter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has woken you up to show us that if Allah can put a person to sleep for 300 years and take care of him and then wake him up without anything happening to him, then that same Allah has the qudrat to bring the dead back to life from the grave as well. And life after death is not spiritual, it's physical. He called people down. He said, "Look, this person is a sign which Allah has sent. And he's standing over here is a sign of the qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that Allah will bring the dead out of their grave, recreate them, and make them stand before Him and take their accounts." And then he said to the good man, "We want to go with you and we will greet your friends." And he said, "Okay." So they took lots of food, halal food, because they were all Muslims. And they went with him to the cave, to the mountain. And he said, one version is that he said to them, "Look, if we all go up there and they hear all these rumbling noise of so many men coming, they'll be scared because they don't know. So let me go up there and tell them what's happened, and then I'll bring them down and you can meet and greet." They said, "Okay." So one version is he went up and he called them down. They all met and they embraced one another. And then they said, "Well, whatever Allah wanted to happen has happened. Now let us go and we will go back to our cave. We will go to sleep again." So they went back to the cave and Allah put them back to sleep. Okay. Now the king wanted to go up, but he was not able to do so. He said, "Nah, it's not right. If Allah wants to conceal them, hide them, let their matter be hidden." So they went up to as much as they could, and then they just kept on looking from there. And then they said, "We'll just build a small masjid over here as a token, as a sign of the Ashab al-Kahf, the men of the cave." They are mentioned in the Bible as well, and they are called the 7 sleepers. Right? Quran didn't say they are 7. Quran said people will guess how much they were. Allah knows best. So Allah indicated that there were 7 and the 8th was their dog. Now, this is the story of Ashab al-Kahf. You see, What we started with, test of faith. Their faith, Iman, was tested. They wanted to protect their Iman. They said, we're not going to do shirk. We're going to hold on to Tawheed. And they sought Allah's help. And Allah gave them help. What do we learn from there? You guys are going to go to school, college, uni. Your Iman will be tested. Yesterday we talked about your haya being tested. You have to be like Yusuf alayhi salam when your haya and modesty is tested. Today we're talking about Ashab Kahf. So your Iman will be tested. You have to keep Ashab Kahf in front of your eyes. That Ashab Kahf's test was greater than your test. There was enforcement upon them. They were forced to commit shirk, but they never committed shirk. Nobody is forcing you to commit shirk. Everybody is just working on you like that shaitan who's putting that shira and making people fight. So those professors, all your environment, all your friends who whisper in your heart and mind about does God exist? Why is only God one? Why is God doing this and not doing this? Why is this happening? Why is that not happening? If they have whispered these questions to you, then just like that shaitan calling you, don't run for the shaitan, right? Run away from shaitan. Like Ashab Kahf ran away from Butparasti and Shirk. Ashab Kahf protected their deen. You have to run away. And where do you run away? Ashab Kahf ran to the Ghar, cave. So today after Asr we were talking about Khalwat. So you have to run away to your Khalwat, Tanhai, Goksha Nashini, right? And have either come to the masjid. Many youngsters who go to study in other towns like Leeds or Leicester or London or Scotland, Dundee University, wherever, they go and the first thing they do is search for a masjid. Is there a masjid in this area? And they are attached to the masjid. In their free time, they go to the masjid. They stay in the masjid. Between Zohar and Asar, Maghrib, Isha, they stay as much as they can in the masjid. They read Quran, they do zikr. In fact, they take their bag as well. They do some homework as well. Masjid committee also allows them, no problem. You can sit here as much as you want. Do your work. So masjid is your cave. So go in that cave and protect your iman. Don't fall for the whisperings of shaitan. Don't lose your iman. Don't lose your faith. Protect your faith like Ashab Kahf protected their faith. This is the lesson from the story of Ashab Kahf. Do you get it? Is pizza here, right? Or do I have to keep talking? क्या बात है यार, रोज तो पिज्जा जल्दी आता है, लेट हो गया. आज कोई स्पेशल पिज्जा बन रहा है. हाँ, आज स्पेशल पिज्जा बन रहा है मेरे ख्याल में. ग्रिल स्टर्स में से करजोनी आ रहा है. I should have revealed the menu to you, man. चलो कोई नहीं, you will be able to enjoy it more इंशाल्लाह. हमारे एक दोस्त की तरफ से दावत है. उन्होंने बोला है मेरा नाम मत लेना वरना मैं ले लेता हूँ उनका नाम. अल्लाह उनको जज़ाए खैर दे. अल्लाह उनको खूब बरकत नसीब फरमाए. अल्लाह उनसे राजी हो जाए और सबसे राजी हो जाए. माशाअल्लाह आपके तो दावतें बहुत आई हैं. इफ्तार की दावतें फुल हो गई. आफ्टर तरावी स्नैक्स की दावत भी फुल, सहरी की दावत भी फुल. माशाअल्लाह बच्चों को मजा ही मजा है. ये बच्चों की बरकत है. अल्लाह इन बच्चों को कबूल फरमाए. If we wanted to continue with Ashab Kahf or Surah Kahf, let's say. In Surah Kahf there's 4 stories. How many? I've only covered one. And that was Ashab Kahf, and their test was test of faith. Second story is of the millionaire, right? Who had a beautiful mansion, 2 beautiful gardens, and he was boasting over his wealth. For him, that was the test of wealth. He failed that test. His brother was a poor person. He gave him some advice, but he didn't listen to his brother. And because of his shirk and his disobedience, his denial of life after death, his haughtiness, his pride, Allah's azab came and everything was destroyed. Allah then said, Al-malu wal-banoon, zeenatul hayati dunya. Wealth and children are just to beautify your worldly life. Wealth, you look beautiful, you have a nice car, you have a nice house, you have nice clothes, you have nice food, right? People see you, admire you. It makes you look nice. Wealth is a good thing. Wealth is not bad. It's to make you look nice and beautiful, good. May Allah give you lots of wealth. However, don't fall for it. It's just to beautify you. What is real thing? وَالْبَاقِيَاتُ الصَّالِحَاتُ خَيْرٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ ثَوَابًا وَخَيْرٌ أَمَلًا. Everlasting good deeds are the best for sawab from your Rabb and the best in hope from your Rabb. What are the everlasting good deeds? 5 namaz, roza, zakat, sadqat, khairat, zikr, fikr, tasbihat, amr bil ma'roof, nahi anil munkar, tilawat Quran. The sawab of all this is everlasting. It's everlasting. When you go in Jannah, your one subhanallah sawab will be with you forever. One qulullah sawab, 1 pound sadqah sawab will be with you forever. That's why Allah called it al-baqiyat as-salihat. So keep busy in these a'mal. Of course, you work for your daily bread, work hard, earn your daily bread. That is rizq halal ki talash bhi ibadat hai. Lekin you shouldn't fall for it and you shouldn't think that that's it. There's nothing beyond that. Okay? This is the trial of wealth. अरे भाई क्या कर दूर का सबको डिस्टर्ब करता है? क्या हुआ? प्रॉब्लम है कुछ? बस अब मरा खबर अब आएगा पिटाई होगी. Sit down. Number 2. Okay, that was test of wealth, and then there is third story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. That is test of knowledge, ilm, hunar. Musa alayhi salam once gave a beautiful bayan, and Bani Israel were amazed, wonderstruck, ajib. What a beautiful speech. Someone said, "Oh Musa, is there anyone more knowledgeable than you?" He said, "No, I am Prophet of Allah. I have the greatest, most knowledge." Now that was right. The answer was right. But Allah did not like that answer. Allah said there was a better answer. And what was the better answer? Allah. Allah has the most knowledge. Nobody has knowledge like Allah. So he didn't refer the knowledge to Allah. He referred it to him, that I am the most knowledgeable. So Allah put him to test. Allah said, Musa, there's someone who's got more knowledge than you. And Musa said, realized humbly, oh Allah, I'm sorry, my mistake. I shouldn't have said that. Astaghfirullah. I said the wrong words. Forgive me, Allah. Where is this man? I want to go and learn from him. And Allah said, Musa, you'll have to work hard. You'll have to work your socks off to get to him. You won't find him easily. You have to travel and travel and travel and travel. You'll find him at the place where 2 seas merge. Have you seen video of 2 waters? They're running side by side and they don't mix. One is brown and the other is blue. Right? And they're both. And the ship is sailing over it. But the water doesn't mix. Allah said, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَ الْبَحْرَيْنِ حَاجِزًا. Allah made a thin layer between the 2 waters. They're both liquid. Liquids mix. If you put milk in water, they both mix. But over here, these waters don't mix. Who's got that power to protect them from mixing? Allah. So he said, where the 2 oceans meet is where you'll find him. So Musa said, how can I get there? Give me some sign. Allah said, take a fish, carry it in your basket with you. Where the fish comes to life is where you will find him. So Musa had his own food and he had some fish as well. So he and his khadim, Yusha bin Nun alayhi salam, who later on became a prophet and his khalifa and successor, they both traveled. And they traveled and traveled and traveled. Oh, Allah knows how long they traveled. And then they came to a place, they were really tired. They, camped there. Musa alayhi salam fell asleep. Yusha bin Nun was also half asleep. And there was a fountain nearby in which there was some water was dripping. And suddenly the fountain's water, its volume increased and some splashes fell on that basket in which the fish, the roasted or grilled fish, cooked fish was. And the fish came to life. And it sprung up and jumped up. Pshum! And it went into the ocean. And as it went into the ocean, it formed a tunnel. Sarab. Zoom, wherever it's going, and there is a tunnel. Now, Yusha bin Nun is half asleep, but he is seeing that. And then he fell asleep as well. He thought when Musa alayhi salam wakes up, I'll tell him. But Musa alayhi salam suddenly woke up and said, oh, what day ho gayi? Chalo, let's go. We're late. And then they just quickly packed their belongings and kept on walking. And Yusha bin Nun also, and he forgot. And they walked, and then they camped after some hours at one place. And Musa alayhi salam said, I'm tired and hungry as well. Let's eat some food. Now he remembered, oh, I'm sorry, the fish is gone. This happened over there. You got nothing to eat. So Musa alayhi salam was no hungry with him. Musa alayhi salam, okay, no problem. What happened? They come back. They retreat and walk for hours. And then they come back to that spot. Now they see Khadir alayhi salam here. He's lying down, covered in a sheet from head to toe. His head is covered as well. Musa alayhi salam approaches. He knows that this is the man. Because this is where we lost the fish. That was the sign. And this is Majma'ul Bahrain. So he said, Assalamu alaikum. And Khadir alayhi salam said, Anna bi ardika salam. Who does salam over here? Nobody does salam in this area. And Musa alayhi salam said, I'm Musa. Musa bin Israel. Yes, I am Musa bin Israel. What brings you here? I have come to learn from you. Musa, you have a specific knowledge. I have another type of knowledge. We can't stick together. You better not come with me. You better not stay with me. You can't learn from me. And he said, no, please allow me to stay with you. I'll learn some things from you. He said, okay, one condition. If you stay with me, don't ask any questions. If there is some need for explanation, I'll explain it myself, but don't ask questions. Musa alayhi salam said, Inshallah, I'll be patient. I won't ask questions. And then story continues. Maybe I'll complete it some other time. Now, there is test of faith over here. Sorry, what is the test? Test of knowledge. What is Allah trying to tell us? If you are a knowledgeable person, then don't boast over your knowledge. If you are Hafiz, Alim, Qari, Mufti, Sheikhul Hadith, doctor, engineer, barrister, lawyer, professional, right, teacher, professor in university, then be down to earth. Right? Never boast over your knowledge. Never think or say, declare, I am it. Nobody better than me. If you have this attitude, it's not right. Allah doesn't like it. Right? Musa alayhi salam was humble. Allah is saying that if you are blessed with ilm and knowledge, then make sure you are humble and down to earth person. Help others, spread your knowledge, help as much as you can. This is why you will see most fights and arguments are among the jahils. Who fights most? Jahils, ignorant people. Knowledgeable people, professors, you go to the university, right? Professors, they are highly respectful because they are educated, they have knowledge. Their knowledge keeps them humble, right? They are humble people, very nice people. Professors in universities, because they've got knowledge, they know everything. Dr. Mahmood Chandiya Sahab, right? He's मुशरिफ is હું કહીને પેલું PhD નો નિગરાન હોય તેને મુશરિફ ને હું કહે supervisor. He is supervisor, highly educated person but very nice, very humble, very down to earth. And he says, I know all these politics are happening around the world. Islam is not like that. It's regretful that people do these things. We know what is true. Islam is true. Islam is a peaceful religion. We know that Islam was never spread by the sword. This is a childish claim that Islam was spread by sword. No ideology can spread by sword. You can force someone to obey you by sword, but as long as the sword is there, where sword goes and his obedience goes as well. Islam conquered hearts with it conquered the hearts with its universal teachings. This is what the professor said. He knew, he understood the reality. So those who are highly educated are extremely humble people. This is the test of knowledge. Then we have fourth story of Zulqarnain, but pizza is here. So what shall we do? You want to eat pizza or want to listen to Zulqarnain's story? Shall I finish it? Okay, I'll finish it in half a minute. Zulqarnain was a king. He ruled from east to west, right? North to south. He is one of those kings who ruled the whole world, which was inhabited at that time. Now, Allah mentioned this story because he was extremely fair and just ruler. So Allah is saying, if you are tested with position, power. What's the fourth test? Test of power. If you are a president or a king, or even a president or principal of a darul or a university or a masjid, right? If you have some power, don't abuse your power. Be just, be fair with everyone. This is adl and insaf. This is the fourth story, test of power, and the lesson is to be fair and just with everyone. Do you understand all four stories? Ashab al-Kahf, test of faith. The way to get out and pass that test is to turn to Allah, go into seclusion, khalwat, and seek help from Allah. And your iman will be protected. Test of wealth. If you are tested with wealth, then don't boast over your wealth. Be generous, be kind. Think of it as a ni'mat and blessing of Allah and spend it on others. Don't be stingy. Test of ilm and knowledge. If you are blessed with knowledge, don't boast over your knowledge. Be humble and down to earth. If you are tested with power, don't do zulm and oppress others. Rather, be fair and equal and just with everyone. This is the summary of Surah al-Kahf. Subhanallah bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu. Parwardigar Alam give us tawfiq to study Quran Sharif, understand Quran Sharif, practice on Quran Sharif. Accept our humble efforts. Be pleased with us. Give us all the good things which your beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked from you. Protect us from all those evils from which he sought your protection. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى اللهم وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك.